How not to get sucked in. When we're escaping narcissistic abuse, it's easy to get sucked back in. It's just the way it works. So, what do we do about it? This is Hawk from Help a Hawk Healing, where we're freeing human hearts. And today we're discussing how not to get sucked back in. Hoovering is the common tactic of narcissists. I've changed. I'm better. Just wait and see. But does it ever work? I've never seen it work. Have you? And it's called hoovering for a reason, because of the old vacuum that was claimed to suck back in everything, no matter what it was. Well, that's what narcissists do. They want us. They want our attention. They don't care whether it's positive. They don't care whether it's negative, as long as it's our attention. And our attention isn't on us, it's on them. So how do we avoid it? What can we do to avoid it? During the healing journey, we often find ourselves lonely or isolated, cut off. And this is important. We do need to be cut off to a certain extent. Not from our support system, but from anyone who would distract us from our healing journey. And it can get lonely. I agree. There are times when I can sit in a room full of people and feel very lonely. However, it's important that we keep our focus on our heart, on healing our heart, on letting things go, so that we don't get sucked back in, so that we don't get hoovered. Some people call it bait and switch, or the carrot on a stick method. It doesn't make any difference what you call it. You're getting sucked back into the situation. And it sucks. It really does suck. Especially when we're feeling lonely and we want a hug. It's hard to deal with. There are times when I've literally sat and just gone, okay, all right, I love myself. It's okay, I love myself. And there's nothing wrong with giving yourself a hug. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself. The narcissist doesn't love themselves. The narcissist feels empty and must suck everything from the outside in order to feel full. When we fill ourselves up that it overflows, then we're impervious. Then whether the narcissist gets our attention or not isn't the point. I can have conversations with exes and not have a problem with them. I can give them attention that is positive and work to maintain a positive situation and a positive interaction with them, and then turn around and walk away, and they're like, huh? Because I'm empowered now. Because they can't suck me back in. They can't say, see, I've changed. And in fact, at one time I was told, I changed and you didn't, which was the exact opposite of the truth. So, what did I do? Well, I went within. And we always have to go within. All the great gurus, all the great teachers, enlightened ones, masters, Christs, whatever you want to call them, they all teach you. Love yourself first so that you can love everybody else. Treat everybody else how you want to be treated. Treat everybody else how you want them to treat you. Love everybody else how you want to be loved. Well, that's the only way to get there. And I have a great deal of compassion for the people who used to be in my life, but are not anymore. And there are some people that are still in my life that are very caught up in their sociopathy and narcissism. And I just deal with it, whether it be coworkers, whether it be friends, whether it be family members. It's like, hey, you know what? You can say what you want. You can hold me responsible. I'm not accepting it. So what can you do to be empowered? The only way to get past this is to enforce your boundaries. If possible, go to a full no-contact situation. If there are children involved, of course, you've got to have contact with that other person. Maybe you can have contact with that other person through a lawyer or through family members who are compassionate enough to be able to act as go-betweens. But work to not have or to limit contact. And it sucks. It really does. Because you still have compassion for them. You still want to see them heal. You still care for them. But they've got to walk their own walk. So how can you keep from getting sucked back in? Just don't do it. I mean, it's that simple. Don't allow yourself to be pulled in. Anytime I feel a person working to pull me back into that situation where I'm starting to get defensive, I immediately say, well, you know, that's your perspective. I've got other things I've got to do, and I'll talk to you later. When you realize that the narcissist was mirroring your own demons, your own wounds, your own traumas, now you're empowered to walk away from that. Now you're empowered to heal yourself. Now you're empowered to leave them behind and say, okay, I've been working on myself. I'm no longer working on yourself. I'm working only on myself. And it seems selfish, but it's the right kind of selfish. And you have to do it. It's the only way. You cannot walk a balance between healing someone else and healing yourself when you're in a relationship. As a therapist, I walk a very fine balance. And with every session I do, I find something that heals within me. But I am working for the other person. I'm not doing it in the way of them sucking up my attention and filling up from me. They're not taking my energy. I'm providing space for them to be empowered by their own energy. I'm asking questions that pull them into their own energy and let them find the reasons and then let it go. Thank you for liking. The more we have likes on YouTube, the more the algorithm shares and the more people get to heal and the more hearts that get freed. So thank you for liking. Narcissism is literally a drug addiction. We get addicted to the drama drugs, they're already addicted to the drama drugs, and it's an endless cycle. Because how we think creates a chemical cascade in our body, which creates how we feel, and our body gets used to that. Then our body wants to feel that, so it starts creating these moods that cause us to have these thoughts, that cause us to have the cascade. It's called neuropeptides. And in some ways they suck, because believe me, going through neuropeptide withdrawal is painful, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And mental and emotion are different. Mental is thinking, emotion is feeling. And getting through with that is difficult. I still struggle with it. Don't think that I'm some kind of perfect guru up here giving you answers. I may only be one step ahead of you. But what I am doing is I'm working on it every day, and what I learn, I say, here you go. Take it, use it, please. Free your heart. Shatter those heavy emotional chains of your traumatic past. Let them go. You know, I mean, it's an emotional roller coaster. And then when we're living in fear, we're afraid at the top of the roller coaster. We're afraid of falling off the cliff. But when we're excited, we're looking forward to that downward motion. Whoosh. And when we're at the edge of the cliff, instead of falling off, jump off and then soar. Use that speed you've gained, that momentum you've gained going down to come up even faster than you went down. We attract who and what we are so that our inner child can be healed. And we're going to attract these experiences, these people, these synchronicities, these lessons until we learn them. And they're going to get harder and heavier every time until we learn them. It is a puddle of suck. And sometimes it's a very deep puddle, full of pond muck and other stuff. The more we learn to let it go, the easier it becomes. And then we attract people who are already healed, at least to the point where we're healed, and they can either show us a better way, a different perspective to help us, and then we can travel on together. Because we attract who and what we are, not who and what we want. So until we get to be the person that we want to be with, we're not going to attract the person we want to be with. And it seems counterintuitive. However, that's just the way it works. Like attracts like. People say opposites attract. No, the North Pole attracts the North Pole through the South Pole. Like attracts like. It's that simple. It's a matter of physics. When we look at the other person and we're wanting them to heal us, and we're wanting them to feel us as we're working to heal them and fulfill them, it's a never-ending loop. It's like a hamster caught in a wheel, only the wheel's motorized. And then the poor hamster gets thrown off. Be the hamster that gets thrown off. Let the wheel keep going. Let it go its own way. Now you're off on the side and you can at least get over the dizziness for a few minutes. I wrote an article in my blog years ago called Looking Up to See Down. The best place you can be is like the coyote that fell from the roadrunner to the point where he's so far deep in the ground, he has to look up to see what other people are seeing when they look down. That's the best place you can be, because there's only one place to go. You can't go through the solid rock, you can only go up. And once you get up there to the point where you're seeing what other people see when they look down, you say, I don't even want to look in that direction anymore, I'm only looking up. And you just keep going up. Thank you for subscribing so that we can continue learning together. I love doing this. If I didn't love doing this, I wouldn't keep doing this. And believe me, I have received so much healing and help from other teachers on this platform that I am willing to give what I have learned to you so that you can free your heart. Please do. This planet needs more free hearts. We must accept responsibility for our own healing, our own wounds, our own moods, our own feelings. We must accept responsibility for all that, because on some level we chose for that to happen, whether it be the spiritual level or whatever, and on some level we're choosing what we're experiencing anyway. Every single one of our emotions is the result of a decision. Happiness is the result of a decision to be happy. Gratitude is the result of a decision to be grateful. No matter what's going on, I'm grateful, happy, joyful, thankful, worthy, deserving, knowing, free, and unshakable. And I keep saying that so that my mind and heart keep moving more and more and more into that. And when I'm stuck in traffic, part of me says, oh man, not again. And part of me says, wonder what we're avoiding. Could be a bad situation downtown. Oh, then later on somebody says, did you hear about that shooting downtown? Which was 2 blocks from where I wanted to go. And it happened at exactly the time I was supposed to be there, but I was 20 minutes late, and so I wasn't involved. I'm grateful for those moments. What am I avoiding? It's hard. It hurts. Sometimes even physically. Believe me. When my body was racking top to bottom and throwing me that high off the floor, blam, 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 and ego screaming out, we're gonna die. I'm like, okay. I've stared down the barrel of the gun, I didn't pull the trigger. I've stood on the edge of the cliff and I didn't jump. I stood on the side of the bridge and I didn't jump. For the very reasons we're here. So either let go of the reasons or die. And you let go of the reasons. Most of them, not all of them. Getting close. Getting close every day. My abuse recovery method here on YouTube works at the energetic level. It works with the stuck emotional energies that are stuck within our nervous system, and it releases them. And then we can refill that area with a new belief system, refill that area with love, and refill that area with the loving light that we want to express to the whole world. We can refill it with our own freedom. It's important that we do this, not just for ourselves, but for the whole rest of the planet, for the whole collective, for every bit of experience that calls itself the universe. Because right now on this planet, as we go through this photon belt for the next 2,000 years, and as we go through this awakening and enlightening, it is important that we not only be awake, but that we ascend, that our frequency still keeps going up. And the more we fill ourselves with light, the more we're able to express it to others. And just simply saying thank you, just simply opening the door, that's light work. People say, I want to be a light worker. Thank everybody for everything. Walk through Walmart or whatever store you go to and thank the workers. Thank you for what you do here so that I can take food home with me. Thank you for what you do here so I can take clothes home with me. Thank you for what you do here so I can take the toothpaste home with me. They value it. They value it very much because their coworkers don't always remember to tell them thank you, and their bosses don't always remember to tell them thank you. But if you, the person they're working for, the person who's paying their salary, says thank you, that's light work. Opening the door and holding it for the person behind you. It's not only manners, but it's just some small kindness. The bass carts. Oh, how many times have you seen bass carts all over the place? Yeah, they got people that come out and get them. Grab one and take it in. That way you ain't got to grab one and bring it out and leave it. You can grab one and take it in. You see that person sitting over there with their car unloaded? Grab it and take it in. Be a light worker. And not only that, but this is empowering you more and more and more. And so you don't get sucked back in. Because yes, you're putting out the energy, but that energy is getting returned to you in their gratitude too. And be grateful for your journey. It's not just the destination, it's the journey getting there. It's important that we learn that. By healing our wounds and tearing down our walls, we enforce our boundaries. Now we don't have these imperviousness. Now we have something that we can say, okay, you can cross and come in, or no, you don't get to. And that's a good place to be. That is being empowered. When you can let someone in, or you can stop someone from coming in, that's empowered. And you're not going to get hoovered again. You're not going to get sucked back in. You've got these boundaries up, and these avenues are, hold on, you don't get to go any further. Or, yeah, I'll let you in. By empowering ourselves and feeling our own feelings, we become impervious to others. I'm not saying it's perfect. I still struggle with this. I'm not lying to you when I say I still struggle with this. With certain people, I still struggle with this. But it's okay. Because less and less is that bothering me. People are, I'm to the point now where it's like, I may not have seen everything, but you really got to do something to surprise me. Because having searched within my shadow, having looked within, having read, having dealt with clients and seen what they experienced and things, I'm like, wow. You know, there's nothing new under the sun, and so why even be surprised by what you see? It just, it boggles the ego's mind, but not my own mind, that some of the things that I see happening in the world today are happening. That some of the way that people act, I'm like, okay, their inner child definitely needs a timeout. Their inner child definitely needs a hug, not a drug. Meditation over medication. Or intoxication. I don't miss those things. So I'm grateful for your healing. By empowering ourselves, we become a beacon to others. But narcissists, even though they're drawn to us, immediately become repelled. It's like, oh, hold on. That's not for me. You know, they'll come in and they'll present themselves in a particular way, and you see right through it, and you call them out, and they'll go, oh, but no, this is the actual truth. And they don't like it. And they immediately, I repel them. At some point, I repel narcissists to the point where it's like people will walk out of their way to avoid me. It's weird. And I'm not bragging, it's weird, because I'll see somebody that looks interesting and they're like, no, I'm not coming near you. It's like, well, okay. they're not exactly in a healed state, okay, I'm not going to push myself on them. It's incredible when you get to that point, and when you're so aware that you can notice it. And I encourage you, work daily on this. If you need a break, take a day's break. I've recently had to take a month break from some of the projects I was working on, but I still work daily and say, what, if anything, needs to come up? What, if anything, needs to be realized? And in fact, I've been going through a dream cycle where a lot of things are releasing, and so the ego part of me that likes to argue and fight is like, and I'm like, shh, it's okay. I realize this is uncomfortable. However, this is necessary. And the abuse recovery method, which I use some form of every day, will help you. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this video. This one's the abuse recovery method. It will help you. I guarantee you that if you use it once, you will see a difference in yourself. Thank you for healing. I love you.